Welcome one and all to the Cine Geeks podcast, where movies, TV, and all things geek collide. I'm Angela, still joined by my co-host Roy.
Hey everyone, what's up?
This is it.
Yes,
Ang pinakahihintay nating Marvel movie.
Yes.
Nakita nyo naman sa title, so parang sobrang excited na kami pag-usapan to. And in case merong mga blind al dyan, baka sabihin ableist tayo. Ulitin lang natin na ang movie na i-review natin for this podcast episode is the Marvel movie of the season.
Yes.
Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine. Directed by Sean Levy, written by Ryan Reynolds, Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, Zeb Wells, and Sean Levy. Starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Yes, here we go. So, mabilisan lang to. You know where to find us in case for podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Yep, go.
Don't forget to follow us, our socials, TikTok, Facebook Threads, Letterboxd, X or Twitter.
So, yun, meron tayong Cine Geeks PHHQ din. Kung gusto nyo mag-ano sa amin sa Facebook, go. Meron ding fan mail, may link dyan sa episode notes. Sorry, we just want to get to hit right away to talking about the movie. Let's talk about it. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wolverine is recovering from his injuries when he crosses paths with the loudmouth Deadpool. They team up to defeat a common enemy.
Sobrang napaka-iwas pusoy naman yung logline na yan sa IMDb.
Pero here's what we're gonna do na lang siguro. We'll start off first with our non-spoiler thoughts para kasi syempre with the weather and all that na we missed one whole day ng screening, yung opening day pa. So we'll talk about spoiler-free stuff muna for the first part of this episode and then we will have a spoiler warning para ma-discuss na natin yung major heavy spoilers in the end of the episode.
Yes.
So don't worry, we'll be placing timestamps as always sa episode notes so you'll know when to stop listening naman before you watch.
Yes.
So you can come back after you watched it for the first time, for the second time, for the third time.
Yes.
Anyway, pero kung gusto niyo na naman pakinggan, okay lang din naman.
If you just don't give a fuck, just go ahead, listen to the whole
Let's
thing.
fucking go!
Yes, tama.
Okay, so Roy, eto na.
Yes.
What did you think of Deadpool and Wolverine? No spoilers? Okay, no spoilers.
The funniest movie of the year. Sobrang action-packed, sobrang crass. Like only a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie should be. Parang yung lahat ng mga good qualities ng Deadpool 1 and 2 na turn up to 11. Diba?
Yeah.
The action was crisper this time. Kasi yun yung madalas na naisip ko dati dun sa Deadpool 1 and 2 eh. Parang ang epic sana nung action kung nakikita natin yung nangyayari.
True.
Kaya
This was under Fox pa eh, no?
yung 1 and 2. Tama.
So you can really see the Marvel money coming into
talaga.
this movie, yung third iteration niya.
True.
Okay, go ahead.
At saka yung pati yung, hindi lang yung Marvel money, pati yung Marvel quality control ba? Yun. Alam mong talagang baby ni Feige, ni Kevin Feige tong scene na to. Kasi kapag alam mong siya yung in charge doon sa sine, talagang pulido yung pagkakagawa. Ano pa ba? Sandali. Wala akong maisip na non-spoiler thoughts pa. Hugh Jackman is Hugh Jackman.
Huge Jackman.
Huge jacked man. Sobrang surprisingly emotional nung kanyang backstory dito ni Wolverine.
True.
'Di ba? Actually even yung motivations ni Deadpool was very, very surprisingly emotional as well.
And very grounded.
Napaka.
It was very relatable, pero hindi pa rin malayo dun sa sa worldview niya. Kumbaga, it's still true to his character.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head na they took the best elements of his character as it was written nung Deadpool 1 and 2 and made sure na mas may lalim, kung pwede mong sabihin ganon, without sacrificing yung parang pagiging sobrang ogag lang talaga ni Deadpool.
Yeah.
Kasi nung dati sa 1 and 2, parang ayokong sabihin na hindi siya pinag-isipan yung parang depth ng character niya. Pero parang kasing they were just letting Ryan be Ryan. Masyado siyang uncontrolled nun. Masyadong parang, ano ba yung term pa doon?
Naglalaro. Masyadong playtime.
Yun, masyadong playtime. Yun.
Masyadong laro.
Oo. So, ngayon na given the subject matter then, we're gonna talk about it in the spoiler section later, mas ang ganda nung makita na, okay, he can also play this character in a very, very serious way, if needed. Hindi naman yung all the time, pero kapag needed lang. Ikaw, what did you think? Non-spoilers.
Siguro, broad strokes lang muna for now.
Mm-hmm.
First, let me comment on Wolverine.
Okay.
I think all of Wolverine's history was addressed in this movie. In a way, parang, din siya parang culmination din siya nung story ni Wolverine ng lahat ng movies ni Wolverine. Kasi, we have to remember, nagsimula siya dun sa yung unang-una pang mga X-Men, di ba?
Oh, X-Men 2001, yes.
Yon, yung trilogy na yon. And then, yung pangalawang trilogy, nandun din siya.
Oo.
Except
for Dark Phoenix, tama.
Except for Dark Phoenix.
Tama.
And how long has it been since Hugh Jackman appeared on screen as the Wolverine?
Mm-hmm.
He is the X-Men
The
diba?
X-Man, yes.
The X-Man. Siya talaga yung constant, kumbaga.
Yes.
Sa lahat ng X-Men iterations na yon, except Dark Phoenix again.
Mm-hmm.
And meron pa nga siyang X-Men Origins.
Yun. Oo.
So, yun, napaka-importanting character ni Wolverine, ni Hugh Jackman, yung character.
True.
And we have to face the fact na he's not getting any younger. Although, grabe, iba pa rin klase din talaga. He is born to play Wolverine.
That is true.
Yun talaga yung talagang masasabi ko na we know him as Jean Valjean. We know him as the Greatest Showman. And the musical man.
Oo. Tama.
Pero talagang ang pinaka-quintessential Hugh Jackman is still Wolverine. The same way na si Deadpool is quintessentially Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Mm.
Comparable nga sila sa character ni Tony Stark as being quintessentially Robert Downey.
Ganun na yung yung level nung parang shorthand nila dun sa characters nila na nagbe-bleed over yung personalities nila doon sa characters that they play. Kasi ako, yun yung nakikita kong strength nung mga actors in this cinematic universe na sobrang memorable nung tatak nila doon sa MCU. Like itong si Tony Stark. Of course, Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. You can't imagine anybody else playing the character.
Same as Hugh Jackman.
Yes. And Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Ngayon, and this is not a knock against the other actors and actresses in this cinematic universe, pero so far, wala nakakaabot doon sa peak na yon of parang being so ubiquitous with their character. Kasi since Endgame, there has never been a character under the Marvel Universe, cinematic or TV, na memorable.
Napaka-impactful din.
Wala. Let's just be honest. Wala.
And yun pa, the Wolverine as an X-Man defined an entire generation.
Oo.
Kasi tandang-tanda ako nung bata ako. Pag sinabi mong X-Men, hindi nga si Cyclops ang una mong maiisip eh. Sa movies ha. I'm talking about the movies, hindi yung cartoons, hindi yung comics.
Hindi.
Kapag sinabi mong X-Men trilogy, si Wolverine ang bida niyan.
Actually, kahit nga sabi mong X-Men lang eh. Kasi yung, syempre, sa general populace, ang nila is, ang kanilang parang tether nila to the Marvel Universe are the movies. Diba? Tapos, pag sinabi mong X-Men, of course, movies ang papasok sa utak. And you're right. The first actor that comes to mind is Hugh Jackman. Ganun ka indelible yung kanyang fingerprint, yung impact niya to not just the MCU or Marvel movies, whether Fox or Sony, pero to comic book movies.
And to pop culture.
And to pop culture in general. True.
Diba? Not to mention na yun ding si Wolverine na character is not the leader of X-Men. The same way na Tony Stark, Iron Man, is not the leader of the Avengers. Pero siya yung pinaka-importanting character doon, and they're the first characters you think of.
Yes.
When you say Avengers, Iron Man agad.
Okay, so when it comes to that, with all that being said, okay, do you think that the movie, in a non-spoilery way, can you say that the movie did good displaying yung legacy niya, not just as a character, pero as an actor playing the character of Wolverine? itong movie na to?
I think the movie did good naman in staying true to the legacy of the character Wolverine and finally getting the due storytelling and characterization na deserve ni Hugh Jackman from playing the character of Wolverine for over 2 decades. Over ba? Over 2 decades?
Yeah, 23 years na siya this year, yung kanyang pag-portray ng character ni Wolverine.
Ayun. So, napaka-deserving naman talaga na balikan yung kwento niya kasi parang we always credit Robert Downey or the Iron Man character starting the MCU. Pero it was actually the X-Men. Spider-Man era pa. 'Di ba? Yun yung nag-umpisa talaga ng Marvel fandom ng mga millennials. So, ang ganda nga din kasi napaka-perfect timing din ito kasi now that MCU is kinda parang alam mo yon, nagkakaroon din siya ng identity crisis nowadays. So, it's wonderful to be reminded of somebody na sobrang anchor ng Marvel Universe, not just the MCU, including the comics, the animation, and the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Anchor talaga si Wolverine. And parang bumabalik lang tayo sa basics. Parang we are remembering the beginnings of Marvel talaga. I'm happy na makita ulit yung totoong Wolverine na kinalakihan ko. It's still Hugh Jackman and he's still as wild and as sobrang as angry and unhinged as ever. And yan din. Kung gaano ka true to the character si Deadpool, ganun din si Wolverine or even truer kasi may mga dinagdag sila na sides or elements sa character ni Wolverine na wala dati dun sa lumang movies. Like yung spoiler na ba to? Sige, mamaya ko na lang sasabihin sa spoiler yung mga details na yon. Pero ayun nga, it's still very true to the character of Wolverine to answer your question.
Yan, hindi lang sa true din siya sa character. Yun nga, sinabi mo din na ang daming mga aspect ng character ni Wolverine na siguro for reasons of budget or streamlining the mythology for the general populace na hindi naman nagbabasa ng comics, ang dami nilang mga tinanggal na mga iconography related to Wolverine, like the suit, like the mask, yung ganun. Tapos, and sinabi din to recently na ungkat ulit na parang yung dahilan kung bakit lahat sila dun sa X-Men ni Bryan Singer naka-black leather nga, hindi nga spandex, black leather. Kasi ilang years removed pa lang tayo dun sa The Matrix. So, usong-uso dun yung mga parang talagang naka-all black, tapos pa-cool. Kaya yun yung aesthetic siguro na pinili nila for the movie. Pero as time went on, and more people became interested in parang finding out more about these characters that they have begun to know and love from the movies, sila naman yung parang bigla nagsabi na, uy, bakit hindi naka-comic book accurate costume tong mga to? And sometimes nagtry sila na mag-make ng effort to find compromises na to do their own thing and then still have some comic accurate stuff. Like, ang unang pumapasok sa isip ko nun is X-Men First Class, na doon sa First Class, syempre, parang prequel siya ng X-Men, pero yung mga ibang characters doon, they have their comic book accurate depictions. So, they, unti-unti nagtatry silang talagang maging sobrang true to the source material. Pero, like, we've seen over the years, may mga talagang gustong yung fingerprints nila nakikita, mga hindi naman mga comic book fans na mga creative behind the scenes. Kaya talagang it's so invigorating to see na these characters are now under the love and care of creatives who not just understand but also love the source material.
I completely agree dun sa mas alam na nila ngayon and mas hinahandle na ng mga talagang privy to the source material yung gumawa nito. Kasi naging problem yan noon with Sony sa Spider-Man na over the years, saka na lang nila binacktrack and kinorrect lahat ng mga inaccuracies. Like yung kung saan nanggagaling yung web ni Spider-Man, ganon. And yung, basta yung mix up nila yung si Gwen Stacy, na parang later niya na meet after MJ dun sa kay Sam Raimi na Spider-Man. Parang ang dami-dami nilang parang creative liberties na hindi na sobrang layo na niya dun sa source material. Parang now, binalikan na nila si Wolverine ngayon. So parang mas marami ng elements, tama ka, mas marami ng elements ng character ni Wolverine na nilagay na nila na dating wala.
Ito, masabi ko lang. Just siguro trivia for everybody listening as well. Si Kevin Feige got his start in Hollywood as a behind-the-scenes person dito sa X-Men. Isa siya sa mga associate producers of the film kasi nagtatrabaho siya para doon sa mga Donners. Si Richard Donner at saka kay Lauren Schuler Donner, who were, I think si Lauren yung producer ng X-Men 1. Siya yung involved doon. Pero directive siya ni Bryan Singer na ayaw niyang mag-stick doon sa comics yung production nila, yung lalabas na output. So, may anecdote, na kung urban legend lang ba to o totoo talaga. Pero, patagong binibigyan ni Kevin Feige si Hugh Jackman ng comics to parang learn about the character. So, in a way, parang full circle moment neto na Deadpool and Wolverine, the most accurate depiction of the character thus far on film is under the direct supervision of the man who made sure na Hugh Jackman knew exactly who the character he was portraying. Hindi lang yung parang may pagka-auteur itong si Bryan Singer na hindi, yung gusto ko yung mangyari ganyan. Siyempre, comic book to eh. Kailangan they give a bone to the fans of the comics na parang staying true pa rin. Ganon. Hindi lang dahil, gusto namin gumawa ng parang scene na allegory for a lot of other stuff. Ganon. Pero you're still parang trying to honor the legacy of characters made that were presented sa comics over decades and decades before the film came out. So, yun. I guess anything else to add? Non-spoilery bago tayo mag-dive in? Ikaw?
Ako siguro, I'm excited to see kung paano na nila ma-gel together yung history ng MCU and nung 20th Century Fox na X-Men movies. Kasi I am aware na over 2 decades, parang they are trying so hard not to connect it. 'Di ba? Parang yung kay Magneto tsaka yung kay Wanda and ano, ay parang yun nga, parang I'll get into the details in the spoiler part of this review, pero I'm excited to see kung paano na niya i-merge yung Fox universe and yung MCU now that we see na this is the entry point of the X-Men or Deadpool and Wolverine per se sa MCU.
Yeah, mutants, X-Men, yes.
So yeah, I think we can end our non-spoiler part of the podcast here.
Okay.
And reveal muna natin yung rating natin. So for Deadpool and Wolverine, our rating is A+. Yes. Yan. Sobrang deserve.
Oo.
Okay.
Best MCU since Endgame.
Definitely talaga. Ayan, excited na ako magkwento about yun dun mga spoilers na kasi ang hirap-hirap magsalita ng non-spoilery. Okay. So, for those of you who do not want to listen to the spoilers, if you haven't seen the film, you can pause the episode now, tapos balikan nyo na lang after you've seen the film. So, but if you don't give a fuck, like we mentioned earlier,
or if you've seen the film, yes.
Then, let's go ahead. Ito na. Spoiler talk.
Okay. Spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So, let's start off with the biggest spoiler in the film. Yan. Ito na yung pinaka-iniiwasan nating malaman sa social media.
Yes.
The cameos.
Yes, very much so. Okay.
So, ikaw, anong favorite mong cameo? Sino yung na-surprise ka na hindi mo ine-expect dun sa movie na lalabas?
Well, let's set it up muna. Yung mga cameos dito. So, we've been waiting for so long na ito yung pinagsasabi na culmination, kumbaga, ng existence ng Fox X-Men universe in film form. And actually, nakakatuwa nga kasi ang dami ding mga hindi X-Men na they paid tribute to. So, the biggest surprises in terms of cameos, in order of appearance, na-spoil na sa trailer, sa final trailer si X-23 or si Laura. Tama ba?
Laura Kinney.
Si Laura. And then, in the movie, unang-unang pinakitang cameo, si Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, as portrayed by Chris Evans.
Yun talaga na-shock ako kasi naka-blue pa siya. Akala ko talaga, and expected, yung pagka-setup pa talaga ni Deadpool. Kala ko talaga si Captain America yun.
Ano yun? Ano sinasabi niya doon? Parang yung Stand Behind Me. Sabi biglang yakap naman si Deadpool. Yun bigla. Tapos, later on in the film, we got introduced first to Elektra, played by Jennifer Garner, who has done
deep cut.
Super. And by the way, she has done an admirable job skirting around the questions for months.
Mukha pa naman siyang hirap magtago ng secret, no?
That's true. May tatanungin ako sa mamaya about dun sa ganun, pero listan muna natin. After niyang lumabas ni Elektra, biglang lumabas si Blade, as portrayed by Wesley Snipes, of course. And then, last but not the least, ito yung pinaka-paborito kong cameo dito. Finally, lumabas na rin siya sa sine, si Gambit.
Yeah.
As portrayed by Channing Tatum.
He's the happiest person in the world to be there.
True. Tsaka,
kaso parang may magic Mike-isms pa rin siya eh.
yun na nga yung parang joke nga dun sa portrayal niya. And for those who aren't in the know, baka bigla magulat kayo na parang, bakit andun si Channing Tatum? Bakit siya yung Gambit? Matagal ng balita. Since X-Men Origins Wolverine pa.
Official?
Oo, kinast siya talaga noon pa.
Okay, akala ko rumors lang like parang dun sa Multiverse of Madness na
Hindi. Promise, hindi.
Cameos.
Siya? Hindi, yun diba? Kasi nung nagkaroon ng X-Men Origins Wolverine, gagawin nila dapat isang sobrang laking series yan na backstory ng mga mutants. So nung pagkatapos i-announce na si Wolverine, of course, Hugh Jackman, backstory. Next na is X-Men Origins Gambit. Cast Channing Tatum. Problema, syempre, nag-flop yung Origins Wolverine. So, biglang
na-shelf lahat.
That's true. Oo, tapos kailangan mag-first class reboot, whatever.
Lahat yun, no? Parang isa lang yung Origins na lumabas, no?
Isa lang talaga.
Tapos nag-fail na, so they abandoned that.
Pero, may isang origin doon na sobrang parang backdoor pilot niya inexplicably, which is yung kay Deadpool.
Yun lang yung parang good thing that came out of that.
Yes.
And ito pa, lumabas yung X-Men Origins na yan during the Writers Guild strike. I remember that.
2018.
Kasi kaya din nag-suffer yung writing nun kasi nag-walk out lahat ng writers.
True. Pero to begin with, hindi na maganda yung pagkakasulat kasi, sige, tignan mo kung sino yung head writer niyang Origins Wolverine. Sige, I'll give you a second.
Oh my God.
That was worth it, waiting for that punchline.
Oh my God. David Benioff.
Yes, David Benioff. Fucking up stuff since 2000X.
Leche. The same writer ng Game of Thrones, season 7 and 8. Leche. Diba?
Yes.
Tapos, anong ginawa niya? Tinanggalan niya ng bibig si Merc with a mouth. What stupid? What?
Ay, nako.
What?
Pero, diba, yun na nga yung sobrang laki ng fan backlash.
And sobrang sama ng loob ni Ryan Reynolds doon. Kasi dream role niya yan eh. Even more than Green Lantern.
That's true.
Kasi diba, nauna ba yung Green Lantern?
Oo, nauna.
Doon sa Deadpool.
Nauna.
So, mas gusto niya talaga sa Marvel. Dahil kay Deadpool. Favorite niya talaga si Deadpool, diba?
2003 pa lang. Nakikipag-usap na si Ryan Reynolds with the studios about making Deadpool. Pero, na-shelf siya kasi nasabi na, hindi, isasama na lang siya sa X-Men Origins. So,
tapos pumayag naman siya, pero gano'n naman. Parang ginago yung character niya. Kaya, tapos alam ko pa nga parang parang teaser lang, parang siya yung nag-fund nung teaser nung isang sequence ng Deadpool nung pinipitch niya pa lang sa Fox.
Yun yung naman yung parang
Deadpool 1, di ba?
Oo, ito pa yun. Ang tawag dito, yung nag-leak ko, no?
Nag-quote-unquote.
Leak daw.
Pero funded niya yun. Talagang siya yung brainchild niya yun. Kasi nga, gusto niyang i-correct yung history.
Yung comic accurate. Tama. Yun. Pero anyway, sorry, nalihis na tayo dun sa ating original na sabi ko kanina again, my favorite cameo is Gambit kasi it both paid tribute to the character of Gambit sa comics kasi sobrang astig ni Channing Tatum dito sa action sequences niya. Talaga ibang klase. Pero yun na nga, yung nag-make fun din siya at the expense of Channing. Na yung, ikaw yung nag-point na parang papalit-palit yung accent niya.
Who's your dialect coach? Seriously.
My dear, who is your
We're
dialect
missing
coach?
important exposition here.
Oo. Tapos may isa pa sequence, na parang later on na pabalik sila dun sa lair ni Cassandra Nova na may pinagsasabi si Gambit.
Tinranslate na lang ni Deadpool.
I think what Gambit is trying to say is okay, pan up to Blade. Pero ikaw, sige, sino yung cameo na pinaka na surprise ka at pinaka nagustuhan mo?
Well, I was not expecting Happy Hogan.
Boom. 5 minutes pa lang.
Siya yung pinaka hindi ko ine-expect kasi alam kong si Deadpool, wala naman siyang connection whatsoever dun sa Sacred Timeline.
True.
So parang yung sequence yata na yun is yun pang yung time watch ni Cable.
Oh, yun.
Yun pa yung parang stretch na yun.
Tama.
Nag-a-apply siya sa Avengers, ganyan. And yun nga, medyo nabitin ako doon. Nakala ko lalabas si Robert Downey.
Is the man still, Is the man not gonna,
I'm reserving all the tears for the man. Is he not gonna... Oh, he doesn't do that anymore. Cameos?
Ay, gabi. Ang daming masabi lang na, ang daming talagang sobrang bilis na mga zingers dito. Talagang kailangan on your toes ka listening for the comedic stuff. Masabi ko lang dun sa sequence na yun kay Happy Hogan. Lumabas siya na March 14, 2018. So, before pa siya ng Infinity War. Yung meeting nila.
Siguro kung sinama siya, tapos nakalaban niya si Thanos, no? Kaso, nakasama niya naman si Thanos eventually. The Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Di ba Thanos tawag niya doon kay
Oo, tama. Pero,
kay Cable.
Imagine mo kung kasama siya sa Infinity War. Siya yung siya yung pinantapat kay Thanos nung hawak na niya yung gauntlet. Or kahit doon pa lang sa Titan, nung kinukuha nila yung gauntlet pa lang.
Actually, imbis na si Iron Man yung nag-snap, dapat si Wade na lang kasi hindi siya mamamatay.
That's true. So malamang yan, tawag dito, pag-uusapan yan at later movie na parang, sana siya na lang para hindi namatay si Robert Downey sa sine. One more cameo na sobrang bilis lang pero para siyang through line siya throughout the movie is pinakita si Thor, si Chris Hemsworth.
On a clip. Sa TVA.
Oo. Na parang yung version nung sa Thor The Dark World na namatay si Loki. Pero imbis na si Loki, si Deadpool.
Oo nga. Ako din na-intrigue ako dun sa na yun.
Ano yun?
Same as Deadpool. Why was Thor crying?
Tapos, later on throughout the movie, maya bigla siyang, tuwing parang jolt awake siya, bigla siyang, Thor!
God of Thunder.
Ay, nako. Sige, yung cameos were amazing. Talagang nung lumabas sila during the premiere screening, talagang they just brought the house down.
Not to mention, meron pang isa na nakakalimutan tayo.
Sorry, go. Sorry, sino?
Cavill Rin.
Ay, oh my God. Ay, nako. Sana hindi lang siya maging parang John Krasinski, Ikaw, sige, ito. Do you think para siyang John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic?
Ay, nako.
Or is it the seed of something bigger down the line?
Well, pwede siyang screen test. So, it's parang focus group na tinetest siya kung pwede ba siyang tanggapin ng Marvel.
Ay, go. Oo yan.
Pero kasi, I don't wanna compare it to Multiverse of Madness kasi that left a bad taste in my mouth.
True.
Lalo na yung mga cameos doon na parang napaka fanservice-y.
Not to mention yung mga cameo doon, parang they were made to look like chumps.
Oo.
Kaya nga ang ganda dito na...
Lalo na si John Krasinski.
Yun, oo, true.
Sobrang disservice dun sa appearance nila. Yung naging part nila dun sa movie na yun. Kahit si Peggy Carter, parang pinalabas na sobrang powerless, sobrang weak. Diba?
True.
Sorry, you were saying?
Hindi. Ang masabi ko lang is parang, yun na nga, even not just the actors themselves, pero yun nga, the characters. Si Mr. Fantastic, sabihin supposedly the smartest man in the Marvel Universe, biglang, ba't siya natalo ng ganun? Diba? Si Peggy Carter, ilang taon natin kasama yan since Captain America, the First Avenger. Tapos biglang, ganun na lang siya. Ang ganda dito kasi, yung inintroduce nilang mga Fox Marvel characters na were given their parang last hurrah, kumbaga. They were parang given a proper send-off. And they were...
An ending.
And they were shown how badass they could actually be.
Na without betraying their character. Oo, yun parang we have to at least give due respect to these lost heroes na forgotten na lang and inabandon na yung mga arc nila, yung mga plotline nila for more prominent heroes, diba?
True. Nakakatawa kasi, yun nga, syempre, this is a Deadpool movie. Fourth wall breaking, meta jokes abound. Ang pinaka nakakatuwang mga meta jokes dito, of course, are at the expense of the Fox Marvel characters. Of course, yung kay Channing Tatum, yung stop start niya over the years na Gambit.
Yung Gambit,
Oo. Tapos, yung kay Elektra, kay Jennifer Garner.
Sorry about Daredevil.
Kasi daw, di ba, kasama ni Daredevil siya doon sa Void. Nung may dapat. Tapos biglang, namatay na din daw si Daredevil.
Together with The Punisher and Quicksilver, Daredevil. I'm sorry about Daredevil. Oh, it's okay.
Sabi niya, it's okay. Tapos, yung kay Blade naman, of course, yung kanyang iconic line na some motherfuckers are trying to ice skate uphill. Sinabi niya ulit dito yon and just absolutely brought the house down.
Hindi lang yun. Lahat ng sinasabi niya, puro one-liner. Parang hindi niya kayang mag-carry ng mas longer conversation than that.
I was born ready. Tsaka,
I am the Blade. I'll always be the Blade.
Yun, di ba? Yun, parang the joke at the expense of course, tagal-tagal na nilang in-announce si Blade, pero nakailang director na sila, nakailang writer na sila. Pero, yeah, I'm the one and only Blade. And I'll only be the Blade. So, talagang siya.
Game na game din siya, no?
True. And, yan, on the topic of that, siguro we'll just point out na, yes, it is fan servicey, yung what the movie is doing, pero it's doing fan service the right way. It's not member berries or para siyang, uy, di ba, nalala niyo yun, kita mo yun? Yung sa sine dati, hindi lang siya ganun eh. Sobrang napaka-organic and you said it earlier na true to the character nung pagkaka-portray nila on screen. And again, that's a testament to Kevin Feige finally having more toys to play with in the sandbox. Dati, hanggang dun lang siya sa mga Marvel na walang X-Men, walang Spider-Man. And now, talagang yung baby niya na, di ba sinabi na niya in multiple interviews over the years na parang ang talagang pinakagustong-gusto niyang mapag-quote-unquote laruan na characters were the X-Men. Di ba?
Ayan, it's nice that you mentioned yun nga na si Feige has always been, a true fan of X-Men and matagal na niya talagang gustong isama dun sa cinematic universe na binibuild niya yung X-Men together with Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. So now that nagawa na ni Kevin Feige na ipasok ang mutants sa MCU, what do you think will happen next? So ano ba yung mga next nating movies na upcoming? I think it's SDCC right now, so magkakaroon ng mga announcements ng bagong slate ng movies, di ba? So as of recording, hindi pa natin alam kung ano yon. Pero what we know is magkakaroon ng Captain America Brave New World.
Yes, this next February, tama.
And yung Captain America and Winter Soldier na series, 'di ba? Inintroduce doon sila Power Broker, tapos parang merong crime underbelly. Do you think doon na nila ipapasok sa Captain America Brave New World yung mutants?
I think so. Pwede naman, pero kasi may kwento talaga tong si Cap kasama siya na eh. Kasi ang kasama doon sa Brave New World, of course, Thunderbolt Ross, now played by Harrison Ford. And matagal na itong sinabi, matagal na in-announce, na babalik si Tim Blake Nelson, playing the character of si Leader. Noong Hulk ni, sino to? Si Norton, ni Edward Norton, ang character name niya doon was si Samuel Stearns.
Okay.
Yun, known to comic book fans as si Leader. So, pinakita din doon sa trailer na may Red Hulk na lumabas. Ang hindi alam is kung si Ross ba yun, yung magiging Red Hulk, or kung si Leader ba siya, kung i-merge nila yung parang stories as the MCU is wont to do.
Kasi so, if I remember correctly, parang lumabas din briefly si Hulk dito.
And that's actually part of a bigger parang gag montage. Kasi, of course, sige ito, set up natin. Yung movie itself, it's about Wade finding out na his universe, essentially the Fox X-Men Marvel Universe, or Earth 10,005, is being pruned by the TVA, who suddenly wants to parang maintain quote-unquote the sacred timeline, kumbaga. Ngayon, actually, magandang i-point out na this is 2024, so this is immediately after the events of Loki Season 2. So si Loki na yung in charge talaga ng TVA ngayon dapat.
Yes.
Sinabi ni Mr. Paradox, played by Matthew McFadden, aka Tom Wamsgans.
From Succession.
From Succession, yes. Still as smarmy as ever. Sobrang galing niya dito. Nakakatuwa siya. Pin-lock out niya si Deadpool mula sa 10,005 para ilagay doon sa sacred timeline yung 616 to be a hero, kumbaga, kuno daw. Ngayon, sinabi ni Paradox sa kanya na ipuprune yung 10,005. Siyempre, nagpanik si Wade. Na parang, yung mga friends ko, mawawala. Ngayon, yung dahilan daw kung bakit ipuprune yung universe nila kasi namatay yung anchor being nung 10,005, which is the Wolverine or the Logan that died.
In Logan,
yes, the 2017 film. Na inintroduce dun si X-23.
Yes.
Okay. So, ang kanyang quest is to find a replacement Wolverine to place as the anchor being for his universe for 10,005. So, parang ninakaw niya yung time pad ni Mr. Paradox and then nagpupunta siya kung saan sa mga parang multiverses to find a Wolverine. Ang daming ang lumabas na parang una, yung si Patch, yung nakaputing coat na Wolverine na pinakita nagsusugal lagi. Tapos, yung isa pang pinakita doon is a Wolverine na parang, ang tag din comic book accurate short king.
Yung yung Dwarf Wolverine.
Tapos, yung sinabi mo na merong isang napuntahan siyang Wolverine or multiverse na may Wolverine na kalaban si Hulk. Yan. Tapos, hindi ko alam kung nahuli mo to kanina, pero nung bigla siyang hinampas ni Hulk bigla, sabi niya na parang, I am Marvel Jesus. Basta, inuulit niya yung linya ni Loki sa Avengers.
Alin yun?
Yun, sige, wait, search ko
Puny
Di ba
God?
yung I am a God, you worthless creature, ganyan? Sabi niya, ang sabi ni Deadpool doon, I am Marvel Jesus, you worthless creature. Bago siya biglang humampas dun sa puno. Tapos yun, aside from that, pinakita na yung may isang X-Men cover, yung nakapako si Wolverine sa X, na puro mga skull, mga patay na.
So, ang tanong, ba't nandun si Hulk?
Ano yun kasi, may cover yun. Sige,
And question,
sige.
Considered bang mutant si Hulk?
Hindi siya mutant. Ano siya? Gamma ray.
Oo nga, diba? Oo. So, parang hindi siya kasama sa X-Men, diba?
Hindi siya kasama sa X-Men.
Okay.
Yan. Sandali lang, hanapin ko lang to.
Actually, nagtaka din ako bakit biglang nandun si Hulk?
Ito. Yan. It's a joke. It's an homage to Incredible Hulk issue number 340. Yan, kasi tama, pati yung suit niya, yung paglabas ni Wade doon, ni Deadpool doon sa universe na to, parang, oh, hello, comic book cover accurate Wolverine with the brown suit, ganyan. Tapos biglang pinakita na andun, nag-reflect doon sa katana ni Deadpool yung mukha ni Hulk. So yun siya. And then after that, of course, yung the Cavalry. My God. Just go.
Motorcycle dude.
So perfect.
My
God. Sige. Yun ang gusto kong maano. Parang, do you think na it's a one-off or it's gonna stick?
I am not sure at this point kasi yun nga parang katulad nung kay Gambit, is he gonna continue being Gambit? Or is this just a one-off? Kasi we know from Multiverse of Madness na one-off lang yung mga lumabas doon.
True. Pero namatay sila. So talagang one-off talaga.
Pero ito nga, hindi pa rin ganun ka-clear kung saan na napunta yung characters nila. We just know na through B-15, na-save sila from the void.
At saka merong merong musical cue na pinapatugtog habang, so yung scene in question na yon, edi nakagather nila yung, what do you call this? Yung Fox Marvel characters. So, si Deadpool, si Wolverine, si X-23, si Elektra, si Blade,
tsaka si Gambit.
So, 6 sila. Ngayon, nung alis na sila nun sa Void kasi ginamitan ni Cassandra Nova ng parang sling...
Marvel Sparkles.
Marvel
Strange.
Yun. Na may Doctor Strange palang pinatay si Cassandra Nova dun sa Void.
We're not sure if it's Doctor Strange kasi pwede rin si Wong. Basta ang sabi niya lang, sorcerer.
Amateur magician.
We're not sure kasi yung ring naman na yun, lahat ng mga sorcerers meron nun
Or pwedeng yung isa dun sa mga sobrang daming mga nasa camartage na mga
Oo.
mga sorcerer. Pwede, tama. So, meron siyang palang sling ring na gamit. So, binuksan niya ng...
Sling ring pala tawag dun.
Yun. May binuksan niya yung Marvel Sparkle Circle.
Okay.
Para makaalis si Wade tsaka si Wolverine sa sa Void. Tapos pinapakita na nakatingin yung mga Fox Marvel sa kanila. Ang tumutugtog
I'll Be Seeing You.
I'll Be Seeing You. Yes, of course, by
Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett yung pero dito is Jimmy Durant, yung version, kumbaga.
Okay.
Pero yun na nga I think that's telling na
We'll be seeing them again.
Hopefully. Yes.
And B15 also said na parang your mission is just getting started.
That's true. While we're on the subject of the soundtrack, merong isa ditong kanta na sobrang immortalized sa atin.
Oo.
Naman, of course, NSYNC's all-time classic, Bye Bye Bye.
Alam mo, feeling ko talaga, love letter to ni Feige sa mga millennials eh.
Yes.
Kasi tayo yung lumaki sa X-Men.
True.
Tapos yung Bye Bye Bye, 90s era, boy band. Talagang para sa atin yan eh. Soundtrack ng buhay natin, movies ng buhay natin, di ba? So, thank you, Ninong Kevin.
And of course, kung napanood nyo na, you'll know that Bye 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 was used in the movie's opening credit. Excellent. Chef's kiss na opening credits. Siyempre, pag Deadpool, ang opening credits yan lagi yung sobrang creatively done na yung 3D lettering alongside the action, kumbaga. Pero ito, ginawa niya to the beat of Bye Bye Bye. Yung action na sobrang talagang, ganda.
One of the best opening sequences in any movie.
Yes,
actually.
That's true. Tapos, intercut doon sa action sequence na sinasayaw ni Deadpool yung choreography.
Ginawa niyang diegetic music yung
True.
Yung song.
At sinasayaw niya yung choreography na accurate doon sa music video.
Oo, ang gago
ng
talaga.
Bye Bye Bye. Alam mo, ito ay pinag-usapan nga natin to after natin siya mapanood na parang ilalabas kaya nila sa YouTube to ng buo. Yung parang Deadpool dancing to Bye Bye Bye.
I wouldn't put that above Ryan Reynolds. Please. Ryan Reynolds is not above that.
Ay, nako. Tapos, yun na nga yung on the subject of of needle drops as well, yung sabi mong millennial love letter to. I agree with that kasi isa sa mga kanta na sobrang heavily used is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Diyos ko Maria Josep. Yung nakakatawa yung pagkakagamit niya kasi parang nung nasa TVA pa lang siya, sinabi niya daw na may isang may isang TVA employee na in love sa kanya.
Oo.
Tapos nung malalaglag na siya parang, hindi, nung sabi niya na parang, you're parang hindi man you're in love with me. Siyempre, mas crush pa. This is Deadpool. Pero nung pinapoint out niya parang, tumatawag, are you calling your wife? No, I'm calling HR. Is your wife in HR? Tapos nung biglang malalaglag na siya dapat doon, yung same guy na yon biglang parang, malalaglag siya sa akin. Tapos biglang nag-time pad bigla, hindi na nalaglag. Anyway, my God. Ang dami pang talagang sobrang epic moments dito. Lalo na yung dulo, of course, na it's been teased time and time again. Yung sila, the Deadpool core. Yan.
Yes. Oo. Ito talagang heavily featured to sa trailer.
Oo, yan.
And yun nga, parang of course, we're universe skipping. So, it's very expected naman na makakita tayo ng variants. Especially, we have TVA here.
That's true. Tsaka sabi din sa movie na parang yung ang daming mga Deadpool na nilagay sa Void.
Kasi nga, sobrang nilang nuisance.
So, nilang wild. Oo, tama.
Parang ang nilalagay nila sa Void is yung mga wild card eh.
So, yung mga X-Men na Fox. Tsaka yung mga Marvel na Fox.
Parang, yeah, so to speak. Kasi nga, if they don't fit what's being created narratively in the grand scheme of things, you get pruned. Literally, na-prune yung mga characters nila. Silver Surfer, di ba? Nila Punisher. Tapos, wala na lang sila. Kinalimutan na lang sila. Kaya nga you understand their plight. Kasi they are parang, I love this analogy that I have to credit our good friend Maganda Ba Movie, Mark Magadia.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Kinumpare niya yon sa parang element dun sa Toy Story na parang old toys. Parang they are the old toys na pinagsawaan na tapos hindi na pinaglalaruan but they still want to find their glorious purpose. Kumbaga.
Okay. Call back Loki.
Sobrang heavily tied tong story na to with Loki.
Loki the show.
And minention pa nga ni we see Elias from Loki season 1 episode 5.
Ay nako, grabe.
Grabe, kiliti talaga ng humor.
Sobra.
Nitong movie na to, as in.
Tapos, sorry, please, go ahead. Sorry.
If you've seen all of their shows and their movies, they will reward you in heaps sa mga references.
Oo, ito yung, kaya nga, we're Marvel fans. So we can say this without any hint of hyperbole that this is the best MCU film since Endgame.
Yes.
Kasi the biggest or the best quality, kumbaga, ng MCU at the height of its powers was its ability to reward loyal followers of the story.
Yes, completely agree.
'Di ba? Na parang kapag talagang hindi ka nag-miss ng sine, yung kung ano yung napanood mo, sabihin natin, kung ano yung napanood mo nung Captain America, kung ano yung napanood mo nung Captain America Winter Soldier, nag-pay off siya sa Endgame. Lalo na yung parang yung Hail Hydra ni Captain America, di ba? That was a joke 5 years in the making.
Yes.
Yun. Ngayon, dito, yung sinabi mo na parang it rewards loyal viewers of even the shows and the Fox movies na Marvel, yung ang dami niyang mga sobrang little quips, little Easter eggs na ganun, na parang yun nga na sinabi na parang, who's gonna eat us? Alioth. Parang, Alioth? From Loki? Season 1? Episode 5? Yung mga ganun. Or yung linya ni Blade na parang, some motherfuckers are still trying to ice skate uphill.
Only the Marvel fans who have watched the Blade movies
almost 20
will get
years
that.
old na yung linyang yun.
Exactly.
Diba?
And yung connection Elektra kay Deadpool, kay Daredevil.
Yun, diba? Yun, tama yun na parang yung I'm sorry to hear about Daredevil.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
And I'd like to echo what one of our geek idols, Michael V, said in his non-spoiler review.
Yes.
He said here, kung hindi ka fan ng superhero flicks, comic books, or MCU, then there's a chance na hindi mo magigets tong movie na to. Huwag ka nang lumusong sa bahay to watch it because it wasn't made for you. This movie, ito yung favorite part ko, this movie was hands down made by a true fan for the true fans. And being part of that demographic, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
That is true.
And same.
Oo. And so masabi lang natin na na-meet natin si Bitoy, Michael V, during the Philippine Red Carpet screening. Sobrang bait. Ang daling lapitan for a picture. So kung makikinig ka man, Sir Michael V, I'm so sorry for approaching you with a hot dog in your mouth. Alam, hindi ko napansin na sumubo ka pa nung tinanong kita na pwede po ba magpa-picture? Ikaw naman parang, thank you.
Buti hindi niya sinabi sa'yo na, hot dog.
So, I'm so sorry for approaching you habang kumakain ka, and I thank you for the picture pa rin. So,
kahit ngumunguya pa siya. Grabe ka. Thank you po, Sir Michael V.
Yun. Pero anyway, going back, patapos na tayo dun sa ating spoiler part ng the film itself. Heavily featured sa marketing nung sine, yung Like a Prayer.
Yes.
And I'm so happy na it took the Guardians of the Galaxy route in terms of the song used sa trailer. Na hindi siya yung palang trailer lang na pang hype up na music lang siya. Talagang ginamit siya in a very pivotal sequence.
Needle drop, yeah.
Needle drop siya. Twice, actually.
Yeah.
Na yung una is the straight usage of the song itself.
Yung Madonna pop version, radio version, yeah.
That's true. Ang epic nun. Yung parang old boy na pagkakashoot. Kasi, okay, quick background. Edi, bumalik sila dun sa 10,005 pagkatapos silang isling ring ni Cassandra Nova. Tapos biglang sumunod yung Deadpool core na bit-bit ni Cassandra Nova para patayin dapat si Deadpool Prime. Deadpool Prime. Tsaka si Wolverine.
Oh my God. Nice pool.
Hindi pa natin pala nasabi si Nice Pool.
And Dogpool.
Dogpool. Ang cute.
The ugliest, cutest dog.
Yes. Tsaka si Nice Pool, I too know how to gently break the fourth wall.
Ay, ito pa.
The proposal.
One of the things talaga na parang deep cut jokes is yung sa credits nakalagay kung sino si Nice Pool, si Gordon Reynolds.
Talaga?
And Gordon Reynolds is like a parang character that he created na twin kuno ni Ryan Reynolds for an interview from years back pa. But it's just him in a different outfit. Tapos parang Deadpool, parang nagsi-self-deprecate lang siya for the entire duration of that interview. Kaya nga napaka-quintessentially Deadpool talaga ni Ryan Reynolds as he is. He is born to play Deadpool. And I would love to see more movies of Deadpool talaga.
That's true. Ang nakakatuwa nga din nung naglabasan na yung mga Deadpool core. Diba, sobrang laking, ang tawag dito, parang big deal niya na sino si Lady Deadpool. And ako personally, I loved it na the movie ended up saying it doesn't fucking matter kung sino siya. Yun yung parang naging joke doon. Pero ending
they never showed her face naman.
True, that's true. Tapos ending dun sa credits, kinredit kay Blake din. Kay Blake Lively.
Tapos gusto ko pa yung parang, I'm gonna tell Blake.
Ayun, yung joke na yun na parang yung...
Yung parang merong Python-esque sequence na lumilipad sila dun sa parang severed foot or leg. Hindi ko alam kung reference ba yun sa Real Steel.
Yun pa nga yung mukhang robot na Real Steel.
Kasi Sean Levy is the director of...
That's true. Of Real Steel with Hugh Jackman.
Exactly. So, yun. Lumipad sila. Tapos, sila dun sa parang, ano ba tawag doon? Plateau?
Parang ganun, tama.
Or valley.
Parang, basta may
cliff. Basta may cliff. Tapos, tapos, ayun, sabi niya, hinihipuan daw yung ano niya.
Parang, wait.
I'm not finished
yet. What are you doing? I'm getting my blade out of your ass. Get your head out of the gutter.
I'm telling Blake. Oh my God.
Tama. Alam mo, ang ganda niyang sinabi ni Michael V dun sa post niya na this is a movie really made by fans, for fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's been... Ito din, joke din to. Doon nung nasa TVA pa lang silang dalawa ni Deadpool and Wolverine sa simula. Na parang yung... nung nagising na, nahimasmasan na si Wolverine kasi lasing siya nung kinuha niya siya ni Deadpool eh. Tapos bigla siya sinabihan na parang, hey, yo, welcome to the MCU. You're coming in at a low point.
Tsaka gusto ko din yung sinabi niya, Disney bought Marvel and then Disney bought Fox and then they're gonna make you do this until you're 90.
He's gonna do this until he's 90. Tapos may isa pang joke doon na parang yung sinabi na parang, nung siya pa lang, nung hindi pa siya costume, parang pinapasali siya ni Mr. Paradox doon sa 616 timeline. Bigla siyang, sabi niya, takbo siya sa camera. Tapos bigla siyang, suck it, Fox! I'm going to Disneyland! Yeah!
I love that.
Sobrang niyang, ganda talaga.
Pero ito, sige. I have a question for you.
Go.
We have to talk about the villains in this movie. So, categorically, ang pinaka-main villain talaga natin is Cassandra Nova. Pero, parang ang mini-boss natin, si Paradox.
Mr. Paradox. I was fine with him. I mean, alam mo yung matagal ko nang tanggap na never magiging strongest suit ng MCU ang mga kalaban.
True.
Pero ikaw, what did you think of them? Did they parang just meet your expectations, fall short, or somewhere in between? Tama.
I think it's nice to have a traditional villain. Pero kasi in the story of Deadpool and Wolverine, ang totoong villain sa mga characters nila is their own ghost, is their own shadow, kumbaga.
That's true.
Parang they're fighting against, in the case of Logan, he's fighting against his pain. Tapos si Deadpool naman, he's fighting against his parang being lost and confused about his purpose, 'di ba? So parang in a way, them together, they are fighting their past. They're fighting their nature or themselves, parang ganon. Parang it's an internal conflict more so than parang against the villain. They're trying to overcome their own struggles about their past, about their mistakes. Kasi sabi nga ni Deadpool, parang he's anything but morally flexible. Pero ayun nga parang dito din nila na-realize na it's not about the purpose. It's about yung mga anchor nila sa buhay nila. Kasi that's what keeps them going. Not their purpose. They're parang hindi sila for parang si Captain America na to save the world.
That's true.
It's just about saving their family, saving their loved ones. Parang it's very introspective. And emotional. I don't get why some people say na it's not emotional. Siguro sila yung hindi emotional. Pero I felt the emotion kasi ang dami-daming mga telltale signs dun sa umpisa dun sa birthday sequence ni Wade na parang depressed siya talaga.
That's true.
'Di ba? Tapos si Logan naman, he is a functioning alcoholic basically.
True.
And he's trying to drown his sorrow.
Yes. Tama.
So parang there is emotion there kahit na mask siya ng pain ng anger and ng parang avoidance ng joking ni Deadpool, you can feel their pain.
Actually, kahit naman din yung Deadpool 1 and 2 pa lang kung ganun na siya na sobrang niyang in denial about his pain. Kasi nga, Deadpool is in a constant state of death. Parang siya yung inverse ni Wolverine ba? Na kung si Wolverine always healing, hindi natatabla ng death or bala or whatever.
Regenerative healing.
Nagre-regenerate yung kanyang cells. Ito naman si Deadpool naman always degenerating constantly. So parang yung dead cells niya napapalitan ng more dead cells. So hindi siya namamatay, pero parang siyang laging namamatay. So ang weird.
He's basically a human cancer.
Oo, parang siyang in pain siya all the time. So ang ganda na, siguro binase din siya ni Ryan Reynolds dun sa kanyang parang own personal struggles, yung parang always quippy, always trying to make light of a situation to mask whatever parang shit he's going through.
Oh, that's what comedians do.
That's true.
When they're depressed, diba? They mask it with a lot of jokes.
That's true.
And kay Wolverine naman, a lot of anger.
That's very
and
true.
A lot of alcohol.
A lot of alcohol.
Even rubbing alcohol.
Speaking of that moment, doon sa diner na yung rubbing alcohol, basta may sinabi siya na parang, nakalimutan ko yung sinabi ni Deadpool tapos parang may sinabi siya na parang, go fuck yourself. Tapos balik siya dun sa countertop, na umupo din siya, nakaganon siya. Hindi ko lang alam kung ako yung nakapick up lang na. Pero feeling ko, na itong Wolverine na to, hindi kasi sinabi kung saan siyang universe galing. Although we extrapolated from the parang dialogue, na itong si Wolverine is the Wolverine from Days of Future Past. Yung comic na parang killed siya by the Sentinels and the Humans. Pero, ang ano ko dito is parang hindi ba siya yung Wolverine doon sa First Class na nag-introduce si Charles at saka si Eric na parang, I'm Charles Xavier and I'm Eric Lensher.
Parang sabi niya,
fuck.
Oo nga no, kasi nandun din siya sa bar eh.
Diba? Ganun yung upo din niya, diba?
Yung mga nire-recruit na nila.
Oo, naghahanap sila ng X-Men, diba?
Oo. Tama. I remember that part. Yeah. So, ayun. So, we're done with the villains and their emotional struggles.
Yeah.
Happy ka ba dun sa naging ending nila?
Oo naman. I mean, I'm happy na it was a fitting endgame, kumbaga, nung Fox Marvel.
Yun ngang parang a standoff nung mga lost heroes natin. Tsaka nung iba pang lost heroes na mga goons ni Cassandra.
Yeah.
It's a lot like yung Avengers.
Ang endgame.
Assemble. Ayun yun. Yung Portals moment, di ba? Nakakatuwa lang kasi finally, parang itong Fox universe ng Marvel also deserves an ending.
A happy ending.
Kahit nga hindi happy, ending lang. They just wanted closure.
Parang naging linya ata yun sa isa sa mga trailer na parang everybody deserves a happy ending. Of course, wink wink.
Pero kasi di ba nga, sabi nga nung song, I'll be seeing you. So, we may be seeing them again.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sana sooner rather than later. Pero ang hope ko lang is, well, at the time of release of this episode, it will be the San Diego Comic-Con. And as previously announced, magkakaroon ng 2 araw sa Hall H, the hallowed halls of Hall H, ang MCU or Marvel Studios. So, they're going to, I'm pretty sure they're going to announce something big. Kasi sabi na parang in talks na itong mga Russo brothers to come back for Avengers 5 and 6. So, of course, Avengers 6 we know is Secret Wars.
Quote-unquote.
In talks pa lang. Early talks pa lang.
And also,
Avengers 5.
We just saw a picture of the cast of Fantastic Four.
Oo. May pinakita ka sa akin kanina, tama, yung pang first get-together picture nila ba?
They may be having a meeting for SDCC. Baka meron silang doon. May lalabas silang panel doon. Kasi yun, announced na yun eh.
Oo.
Diba? And this is the first time in a long time nababalik sila sa Hall H.
True.
Since pandemic?
Since pre-pandemic. Oo.
Diba?
Kasi laging may D23 sila na doon sila nag-a-announce ng kung ano. Pero wala namang nakakapanood ng D23 na hindi naman industry person.
Ay, hindi ba nila ini-air, sinistream yun?
Hindi. Or hindi siya open to the public. Para siyang for shareholders and esteemed guests lang siya. Pero ito talaga yung
for the fans.
For the fans talaga itong Comic-Con talaga.
Tsaka SDCC naman talaga sila lagi nag-a-announce ng slate nila.
Diba?
Tingnan nyo kung nung hindi kayo nag-SDCC, ayan, saan napunta yung MCU, di ba?
Ang cinematic universe na nagigipit sa Comic-Con kumakapit. Yan. Pero I'm happy that they've learned their lesson. Na parang they're not going to churn out so many things all at once.
Especially the multiverse.
Oo. Ay, may sinabi din siya doon na parang joke na parang, let's stop with the multiverse. We know that it's a failed concept. Tapos sabi niya parang movie na parang sabi niya na let's learn from the gays. Sabi ba niya na ni Deadpool ba yun? Basta may sinabi siya, hindi ko nakuha yung movie na sinabi niya eh.
Oo, na parang they did it.
They did it better.
Oo.
Oo. Okay, rewatch again. Need to watch it again.
Oh my God, for a third time.
Round 3. Basta may sinabi siya na parang,
okay lang, deserve naman.
Diba? Yeah, it's a very irreverent, very loving, and very action-packed, funny as hell. No? You know, any other adjective or phrase na gusto mo idagdag?
Marvel fans are in for a ride.
Yes.
Talaga. And
super.
No Marvel fan will not have a smile on their face.
Diyos ko.
Upon exiting the cinema.
Grabe.
Parang, ito na ang panahon ng mga Marvel fans.
We are so back.
We are back.
Talaga. We're eating good again. Marvel fans.
Ay.
Sana yung Avengers 5, di ba? Kasi hindi na si Kang yun. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Sana i-announce na, no? Avengers v X-Men. Yes! Oh, God. Yes.
Pero sige, I think, let's check with our listeners if they want to have an episode of us predicting where the MCU will go.
Oh, use the fan mail or kung ano man, yung comment section sa Spotify. Either tell us if you want us to talk about the future of the MCU moving forward from this.
And we may have guests din.
Yun.
Mga true Marvel fans din.
So, and or if you have any idea or any suggestion or what you think na parang saan pupunta yung MCU ngayon, again, anything you want to tell us in the comment section, go ahead.
We will read your predictions for the future of MCU on our next episode. And sa tingin ko, when SDCC Marvel panel, pag nalaman na natin yung announcements nila, I think that calls for an episode.
Emergency podcast yun. So we may have another non-Friday episode.
So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay.
That's it for our episode talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. If you've seen the film, please, again, share with us what you thought about it. Comment it on our social media accounts or down below on our episode page on Spotify.
And don't forget to set your players to automatically download our new episodes so you don't miss out on our fun Cinegeek conversations. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you had fun or learned something new during this episode.
And we want to thank Disney Studios Philippines and Marvel Studios Philippines for inviting us to the advanced screening of Deadpool and Wolverine. But as always, the studios and distributors of the film were not given any creative control or editorial approval. They are hearing our review for the first time, same as you are.
For my co-host Troy, this has been Angela. Thank you for listening to the Cinegeeks podcast, where movies, TV, and all things geek collide.